According to a September 6, 2004 article in the New York Times, it states the following. One study found that the incidence of leukemia in children was 650% greater in homes where indoor and garden pesticides were used. So what can we do to protect our children, ourselves, and the future generations to come? First, let's explore the consequences of conventional farming, what it has on our environment. Next, let's look at the effect of non-organic food on our body. And last, we will look at how we, the consumer, can make a difference. Let's begin by looking at conventional farming. It is true that synthetic fertilizer has greatly increased agriculture production globally, but it has not been without high environmental cost. According to Science magazine, August 2002, pesticide runoffs affects non-farm communities with odorless and invisible poisons, and these culprits are the reasons for the enormous dead zones in the delicate ocean environments. Per the same article, the Gulf of Mexico has a dead zone that is larger than 22,000 square kilometers. That is an area that is larger than the state of New Jersey. A dead zone is created when the ocean is starved of oxygen by the large amount of nitrogen that is polluting the waters. Dr. Peter Witschek declared in an article in Science, volume 277, in July of 1997, that synthetic fertilizers have polluted the air with ammonia, and it is responsible for nitrous emission in the atmosphere, which is contributing to our global warming. Peter Chantes is director of the Tropical Agriculture of the Earth Institute at Columbia University, shows the links between the increase of synthetic fertilizers and pesticides and the increase of cancer rates, diminished water quality and quantity. Initially, synthetic pesticides may fulfill the work, but over time, the substance becomes less effective and the pest population develop resistance to these chemicals. The resistance of these pests leads to increase of applications of the pesticides, but it does not lead to increase in yield. Per an article by Organic Valley, November 6, 2009, conventional farming uses about 600 different pesticides to a total usage of about 940 million per year of chemical pesticides. That is more than 3 pounds for every person in the United States. Due to the resistance, it leads to the development of even more powerful pesticides, and it is almost impossible for the EPA to regulate their use, and therefore it becomes impossible to truly make studies on our body to know what the true outcome of the usage is. The environment pays a huge price for the uses of synthetic pesticides by humans. Let's look at the effect it may have on our human body. Though pesticides initially offer some benefits to farmers and to other users, it is important to understand the price that we pay through health-related issues. First, I would like to point out that not all organic foods are better food when pertaining to nutrition. Nutrition starts in the soil, and conventional and organic farmers alike may not always pay attention to the health of the soil they grow our food in. According to an article by TexasCenter.org, research have discovered that there seems to be a relationship between certain pesticides that mimic the estrogen hormone and this disruption of the endocrine system in humans and wildlife. Per the same article, this would potentially contribute to serious health problems, including breast and other types of cancers and reproductive disorders in humans. Though studies on humans and animals alike indicate the relationship between diseased and estrogenic pesticide, the EPA does not require testing when registering new products to eliminate the possibilities. In testimony before the U.S. Senate Committee on Pesticides in 1992, Herbert Needleman, medical doctor of University of Pittsburgh, said children exposed to synthetic pesticides have more ear infections, more colds, more pneumonia and asthma, and flu, and they're more likely to become chemically hypersensitive. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency at EPA.gov states the following: infants and children may be especially sensitive to health risk posed by pesticides for several reasons. Their internal organs are still developing and maturing. In relationship to their body weight, infants and children eat and drink more than adults, which possibly increases their exposure. Playing on the floor, playing on the lawn, and putting objects in their mouth increases their exposure to pesticide. Knowing how synthetic pesticides affect our body, it brings us to what we, the consumer, may be able to do to lessen the potential danger. We, the consumer, have choices. We can make a difference for our health and for the health of the environment just by voting with our dollars. We think we pay less for conventional grown food, when in reality we pay a huge price in cleaning up the environmental and the health problem caused by modern agriculture, and this can get very expensive. As consumers, we need to try to purchase organic and locally grown food as often as we possibly can. Not only does it send a message to our government that we want safer foods, but it also stimulates the economy of our community and of the region that we live in. There are about 12 very important vegetables and fruit that need special attention. They are the most heavily treated, and we would greatly help our environment and ourselves if we bought these from local or from organic growers. They are the following: apples, bell peppers, celery, cherry and grapes, nectarines, peaches, pears, red raspberries, spinach, and strawberries. There needs to be some caution when shopping for organic produce. When you shop in large supermarkets such as Walmart, they purchase their organic produce from China, where regulations are not as great as the regulations in the U.S. We, the consumer, can join environmental and organic groups, grower groups, that work to change the process and the practices of current agricultural farming. If there is time and if you have the room, you should try to grow your own fruit and vegetables. There is a site you can visit. It's lancasterag.com for great natural and organic fertilizers. They also do soil testing so that you can start building the soil for proper nutrition, which in turn helps with unwanted pests. So, after looking at the impact of conventional farming, what impact it has on our environment, on our body, and what we, the consumer, can do, how we can make a difference, I hope that you, the consumer, will make a change in the purchase of your produce. We, the consumer, have power. We have purchase power. We must change for the safety of our health, for the safety of our children's health, and for our earth.